Okay, what's up? We're back at it again, and we're actually trying to be. Not to say that we weren't trying before, but now it's like we're trying even more, you know? Because I really don't want to play this game ever again. I am so serious when I say this. Like, I never want to play this game again. Like, I genuinely never want to play this game again. It's been one of the biggest disappointments and excuses for a game. Like this, I feel bad for Steel Wool for rushing this game out, but I also am upset that they rushed this game out because they didn't need to do it like this. They had no reason to do it like this.
I know what this is.
They made a choice.
I have been here before. She brought me here. I found myself for the first time when I cleared the path. I did not want to, but I had no choice. Now I have a choice. I have changed. My friends
Let's play the cutscene.
They are so angry.
This thing that breaks the lore of the game.
But I can protect you. I am not.
Hey, what's up, bro? Alright, let's go. Let's go. This cutscene looks cool. Like, the graphics in this game are decent. Like, they're decent most of the graphics in the game are decent most of the time. They're not my problem. Like, this little cutscene looks cool. Yay. There you go.
What was that?
Yeah, get burned,
Are you
Tucker.
okay?
Get burned.
He is trying to take control of me. I do not think I can fight it for long.
Alright, next part.
What is that thing?
This guy's like several phases, and this boss is so long. Alright, now I know how. Before, I had no idea how I was going to beat this, but I have a plan. Because one of the characters will spawn, and she's like unstoppable. So I'm going to try and use Freddy to stop her.
It's Roxy. What do I do?
Not her.
Force will not hold her. Hide!
If she gets by him. Please don't get by him. Please, please, Freddy, save me. I'm scared. If this doesn't work, I'm dead. So far, thank God. This section is so difficult because of her. Alright. Alright, come on. Like, do the next part. You see why this game is annoying? There you go. I'm waiting for you. It's like, what are you waiting for? Get on with it. Like, I'm trying to finish this game. Because again, I said this before, but I am done with this game. Come on now. Where are you? There you go. How many more times do I have to do this? Because I've done this so many times. I finally cracked the code on this boss. It took so long. I'm so serious. Like, I just came up with this idea one day. Because it took me like a few days to get to this point anyway. Like, I'm literally just basically, I'm kind of exploiting the game right now. Like, I'm not full on glitching it out. But I am kind of using how broken it is to my advantage. How many times have I hit you with the stupid fire? Like, just die already. He won't die. Like, just die. Like, I'm being so serious. I can't really give any interesting commentary right now. My bad. Like, I can't really give any interesting commentary. I wish I could, but this is really the best I can do in the situation that I'm given.
Look out. It's Chica. Doors.
Okay, she finally left.
Watch the vents.
Stupid gator. Alright. Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Get out of here! Get out of here! Let's go! Oh my gosh. I hate this ending. Oh, I beat the game. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. Man, look at these overused voice actors. I feel bad. Look how much work they had to do. They had to play 3 separate characters. Just hire more people. Man, this game. Thank God. Thank you, Lord. That boss is so ridiculous. I am so happy right now. Oh my gosh. Like, oh my gosh. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I finally beat that boss. Like, I don't even know what to say right now. Like, this game has been I'm just gonna talk about my problems with the game now, because where do I begin? I gotta start with the marketing. This marketing was terrible, atrocious. This game was announced almost 2 years ago, back in 2020. And we got like lazy teaser images for this game. And I say lazy in the meanest way possible. Like lazy. That's the only way I can describe them. When we got the teasers for this game, they were just posters. And they would reuse And the fans kept complaining because there would be so many gaps. There would be like 6-month gaps in between these. Eventually, the fans got concerned the game wasn't coming out at all. So Scott released a trailer, right? Scott Cawthon's game, and they released a trailer. Atrocious as well. Like, the game just, it showed no gameplay, which is kind of frightening. And the visuals were, I'm breaking up. Bet. That's great. I guess I gotta save it for the video since I'm breaking up. Or is it just the same? Okay, good. Now, like, one of the biggest problems I have with this game, again, was the marketing. Marketing was atrocious for this game. Like, hold on. I'm just gonna load a game so I can just play as some gameplay in the background, because I'm done. I have to get this off my chest. Basically, the marketing in this game was very atrocious for several reasons. Like, one of the biggest reasons the marketing was so bad is because I feel it felt like they didn't know what they wanted to do with the game. For most of it. It felt like they genuinely had no clue what they really wanted to do. And it shows. The direction of the story, as you just saw with the ending, is atrocious. I mean, like, genuinely bad. Like, no one can tell me that the game had a good story direction. And it shows a lot. Because even just on basic portions, like, the story fails on a basic level, even. Like, one of the first places you go is this daycare, right? Like, you have to go to this daycare to get a daycare. The whole story might feel like a fetch quest, but let me finish talking about the marketing before I get to the story. This seems kind of out of order, because it is. Let me just finish talking about the story before I get to anything. The marketing. The trailer had bad visuals. Very bad visuals. It had very bad visuals. And it got a lot of people worried and concerned.
Security alert! Security alert!
This character. And so basically, it had a lot of people worried and concerned about the quality of this game. They're worried because, like, the quality of this game seemed low, even though they were given a bunch of time to work on it. And, you know, the voice, the visuals just didn't look right. They just didn't look right to a lot of people. But eventually, during PlayStation, it was like a PlayStation event. I forgot which one it was exactly. But, you know, eventually we got a trailer that revealed the release date, because people were still concerned the game wasn't coming out. So they give us a release date to ease our minds. So, once we get this release date, we are somewhat at ease, but still very nervous for the game. Because the trailer looked a lot better. The story seemed like it was going to be headed in an interesting direction that most people could get down with. And you know, look at the direction people could, you know, get down with and stuff, you know. So, you know, everything's cool, you know. There you go. It looks like something that people could get down with, right? So of course people were excited, right? Because the new antagonist Vanny was revealed. Well, not revealed. We already knew she was gonna be the main antagonist, but we got some new animatronics. And getting new animatronics is... What the heck? Whatever. Whatever, okay. I didn't know the section was still operational. I thought I beat that section already. I don't care. Okay. So basically, that threw me off. My bad, guys. That threw me off a little bit. Basically, this whole game just felt like a conjoined mess, an excuse even. It felt like a commercial for like to reboot the franchise in a more kiddie light. But do you know what the FNAF tapes are? Do you know what the FNAF tapes are? Let me just start here. After that trailer that I said people kind of liked, they started doing these little like tape things that were reminiscent of those, the FNAF tapes. Very reminiscent of those, actually. Or like the Walton Files. If anyone knows what the Walton Files are, that's the best thing I can describe them as. Like, they basically looked and felt like the Walton Files. Oh, at least looked like it at first. It had that kind of like old-timey horror feel, you know, like analog stuff, you know. And they had little infomercials, you know, Freddy and Friends, that's what it was called. And they were uploaded to YouTube. And this was cool because, you know, it's something that the fans started, you know, but it seemed like Scott was starting to do it too. Something very cool, you know? Something that everyone liked and could get down with. Shut up. Basically, they didn't do that. These things just revealed stuff that we already knew. That's the only thing these quote-unquote teasers for the game did. And I forget to mention how many times this game got pushed back. Like, it got delayed several times. It was supposed to come out early 2020, but it got pushed all the way back to 2020, December 2021. My bad, December 2021. And these trailers would come out as like YouTube, not YouTube shorts, but very short videos. So basically, it made people, you know, it kind of got some people hyped, but other people were complaining because I felt like we were just getting information that we already knew and getting images of characters. Because, like, again, it felt like a bad imitation of the Walton Files or the FNAF. It's like a bad imitation. Like someone wasn't trying enough. I can't even say trying too hard. Like someone wasn't trying enough to get them down and really do them honor or justice, you know? Like they didn't really care that much. They just saw it as an opportunity, basically. And, you know, that felt kind of disrespectful for some people, you know? You know, some people felt kind of disrespected by that. The fact that, again, it felt like cheap imitations of stuff that we had already gotten. And, how do I put this properly? I don't want to, like, sound too negative. So I'm going to start talking about some positives of the game itself. Because those teasers were not fun or cool. But I'm going to try and talk about some positives. Some things I genuinely enjoyed about this game. I very much enjoyed the art style. Like, look at this game, for example. This game looks beautiful, doesn't it? It looks beautiful. Look at it. This game looks amazing. The visuals alone. But even when there's good, alright, let me continue talking about the good. The visuals are amazing. The voice cast did the best of what they had. I can say wholeheartedly that the voice cast truly wanted to make this a good experience. You know, they really, I could tell some of them really had a lot of fun with these characters. The voice actor for the Freddy, right, is a particular standout. And even the voice actor for Gregory, she had to fulfill multiple roles. Him, Roxanne Wolf, and like a few other characters. and like a few other characters. That kind of scared me for a second. Like a few other characters, and she did an excellent job. Again, with the roles they were given, they did a good job. There's only so much you can do, you know. And I would never. I've come to the conclusion, you know, that if a game turns out a certain way, don't blame the voice actors. They probably did the best job they could with the material they were given. You know, never blame the actors. And this is a lesson for like everyone out there. Don't blame the actors unless it's absolutely atrocious. They just simply work with the best that they're given. And sometimes actors are miscast. Like badly miscast. And there's nothing they can do about it. They still have to make money. Yeah, see, I'm trying to like, I just don't want to come off as super negative, you know. That's what really why I'm doing this good portion, you know. I just don't want to come off as super negative about this game, because I do the atmosphere. That's something I can talk about where I can genuinely say I like. The atmosphere of this game is amazing. Especially early in the game, before all the bugs and glitches kick in. This game genuinely will have you like on the edge of your seat, you know, because it's a new environment, you know, a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on early in the game. There's a lot of mystery questions and stuff you want answers to, you know. And you're basically like really excited to see how these questions are going to be answered, how they're going to fulfill these mysteries from other games, what are they going to do about this stuff, you know? That's basically where most of the intrigue comes from, you know? Why is the animatronics glitching out? And the intro to this game is okay. I wouldn't say it's like bad, but I definitely wouldn't say it's good. Because if it fills a basic role of an intro, but that's all it does. If it fills a basic role of intro, like that's all it does. Yes, I did. I did defeat the boss. And the intro to this game has some excellent visuals, a beautiful cutscene. This is the room I was looking for. Like stuff like this, an excellent Easter egg. I wanted to come in this room specifically because it's a safe room. So these are those Freddy cartoons I was talking about. This is basically like a short portion of them, what they look like. They were entertaining. You know, they kind of had off a creepy vibe, but it didn't do the job that we were all hoping it would do, you know? And yes, lore room, yes. Basically, I just want to chill here for a minute because I'm going to talk about the game. When we get to this game, let's talk about the map for a second, because I basically have said everything good I want to say. Now, I can't tell you where I am on the map. And there's so many bad, like, things. There's so many things wrong with this map. Alright, let's go to this part right here. Look. Now, hold up. Which part? Right here. Look, basement 2. Now, I bet you're wondering, why is there a charging station in the middle of the map? Why is there a charging station in the middle of the map, you might ask? What is it doing there? I couldn't tell you. It's just there for no reason. And this map is the biggest problem. Do you see any labels on this map? Do you see any labels? At all? Like, at all? Like, I don't see, on any of these maps, do you see any labels? There are no labels. I'm gonna save you the trouble. There are no labels. There are no labels at all. And a big problem with this game is that people kept getting lost, including me. I am not trying to hate on anyone who got lost in this game, because I did too. The YouTubers, the lore masters, everyone got lost in this game. Because This map is humongous. Okay, I'll give this game one credit. They did design a big map, but they put nothing in it. I'll continue. As I continue, everyone got lost in this game at some point. I'm telling you, everyone who played this game got lost at some point. Because the game will throw you in a new location, and I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to copy this game called Outlast. I think that's how you pronounce the game, Outlast. And it's a very similar first-person horror game where it had like a run and hide type gameplay. Like it had a lot of run and hide type gameplay, where you would meet this villain in an area, and then you would have to like escape and hide in lockers. You can even hide in lockers in this game. Like I kind of see the inspiration for the gameplay. But the biggest problem with this game is that it lacks the atmosphere of that game. In that game, you were like locked in like abandoned areas with like killer and mutated, insane people. And when they would chase you, they would do like these horrifying screams and stuff. So you felt the tension of every moment, you know? And there was like no guarantee that you were safe even when you were hiding, you know? And that tension feeling never goes away, right? Now, you saw me get killed by an endoskeleton. Yeah, so LS2 does it so much better, exactly. But, you were a little late on the games guy, but I got killed by an endoskeleton trying to find this place, right? And, as Phil can tell you, I was not scared at all. I was annoyed. The jump scare did not scare me at all. I was simply annoyed. And I had no idea it was coming, because I thought after you beat the portion, they don't attack you anymore. But it still attacked me, and I had zero reaction. Now, it's not even the fact... That was my first time getting jump scared by an endoskeleton. Because when you first encountered them, I never got caught by them. I was so scared of them the first time. I'll talk about that portion eventually, but I never got caught by them. But at this point, I'm so exhausted with this game and the same routine over and over. And we can't talk about the gameplay loop with this game. Every FNAF game has a similar gameplay loop, where at the end of each night, where like you would have to like be stuck in a location, kind of like this, right? And I would like have to shut doors to keep animatronics like this guy out. And this guy's nightmare fuel, by the way. Just look at this. But you would like have to close doors to keep people like him out. And basically, you would have to survive till 6 a.m. And sometimes there'd be some different characters with different mechanics. It's kind of like Warzone jump scares. That's a perfect comparison. But, you know, jump scares, speaking of jump scares, the old game jump scares hit almost every time. Because you knew the jump scares were coming, but you couldn't do nothing to stop it if you weren't skilled enough. Like, you saw them coming, but there's nothing you could do to stop it. And the tension being built up because you were trying to avoid them for so long, and you would have to. And as the games got on, you'd have to do more and more things to avoid being jump scared. Like, at first you would just have to close doors. That's all you had to do. The second game, you had no doors. All you had was a flashlight and a mask. And the games really give you this claustrophobic feeling, but also very open. Whereas, like, you would be in a room like this, very small room, and like having a very small entranceway. And that's not even talking about the design of these animatronics that were terrifying. I remember when I first discovered when me and Love Games I first discovered this game back in good old 2015. He showed it to me. He had already seen some of it, and he ended up showing it to me. And this game was terrifying, right? Because everyone's been to Chuck E. Cheese, right? And everyone knows the animatronics. The things there look a little unsettling, just a little unsettling, right? The developer of this game wanted to take that factor up to 11. So he designed them these animatronics, right, to look a certain like robots, of course, right, but have almost like this lived-in dangerous feature. Like, just look at this guy for a second. The designs in this game aren't completely trash, although I will get to them. My problems with them. Like, he just looks intimidating, right? And shut up. Like, he's so intimidating, right? He's tall, and especially compared to a child, you know, like that's horrifying to see, right? But the games kept improving on them. Specifically with FNAF 4, the horror element of the games took an all-time high, right? And they had developed mechanics such as hearing animatronics instead of seeing them on cameras or seeing them with flashlights. You had to listen. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But basically, you had to listen. So say if you were like, the premise of the game, you were stuck in your room and animatronics were coming into your house trying to kill you in your room, right? It's already a pretty scary premise, but when you add in the fact that these animatronics are supposed to be nightmarish versions of normal ones, and they breathe. Yes, they breathe. I know it doesn't make any sense for robots to breathe. Don't question the logic of these games that too much, or else you're gonna get a headache. But these animatronics breathe, and you have to listen. And if you don't, so you have to turn up the volume. It's kind of a cheap system. You have to turn up the volume on your headphones to hear them. But then, if you mistime it and you get jump scared, it will blow your ears out. Pause. Literally. Like, those jump scares are legit the worst out of any game. And I never wanted to play FNAF 4 ever again. And basically, in that game, again, the elements, horror elements and story elements were very good because it also advanced the story of the games, showing you more about. I'm not going to get into the story of FNAF too much yet, but the main villain of the game was of these games is purple. The main villain of all these games is a purple guy, right? Otherwise known as, you know, William Afton. He is a serial killer, right? But he didn't always start out that way, although he always had bad tendencies. Now, after his son, it's unclear which one comes first, but he starts designing animatronics. At some point he loses his mind. And he starts designing animatronics to lure and kill children. And this is where a different game comes in, such a location. And his daughter gets killed by an animatronic. And then in FNAF 4, which again, like I said, it advances the story a lot. His son, it's revealed that you were playing his youngest son. At the end of the game, it's revealed. It's a big reveal. And then your older brother picks you up and shoves you into the head of an animatronic, and it kills you. In a very cool 8-bit style that the series is basically coined at this point. And it's it's just a grim moment because there's no music. There's no happy vibes to end off the game. The game ends with this little kid, getting killed, and, you know, him basically just crying next to his little toy. And, you know, it's very, very, very grim ending, right, for the game. But it's a very big statement. It's a very statement ending. Like, it leaves you feeling something after the game is over, you know? And you feel very accomplished, by the way, because of how difficult these games are every time you beat them. Now back to Security Breach, which lacks almost all the elements I previously mentioned. The atmosphere in the game starts good, but you are quickly taken out of it because of how glitchy this game is. Now, I'm not supposed to be over here. This is probably not the best example, but look at this. Now, you may be wondering, hey, what is all this stuff? I just debugged the game. Hold up. This probably isn't the best example. What the heck? No, I'm going to show you guys how to debug the game, right? You can completely destroy the game with one moment. Jump, hit square into Freddy. Now look. I'm not supposed to be able to see that stuff. And you can use that feature to go through walls. Yes, you heard me. You can use animatronics, you can use Freddy to go through walls and glitch your way through the game. This is kind of how speedrunning works in this game. People basically can jump on walls, go up into the ceiling, and walk to the final portion of the game. And this game is a buggy mess. As far as textures, everything to the textures, the audio, the AI, like nothing works properly. Nothing works properly. The floor will even fall out from under you sometimes. I remember when I was doing a portion of this game called Phaser Blast for the first time, it was very difficult for me because I did not have it aiming. There's an option to turn on the HUD, by the way. So if I go to options, controls, hold up, where is it? Hold up, where is it? General. I'm trying to find it. Because there is an option to turn on the reticle. Hold up, where is it? Or maybe that's a PC only change. I hope it's not. I think it may be a PC only change. Dang it. PC always gets the best of everything, I'm telling you, man. It's just... Alright, let me just save. Apply changes. Hold up. Did this do it? Hold up. Can I zoom? Oh, never mind. That did not do it. Okay. But basically, this game is basically more discriminatory than Warzone, if that's believable. This game is more discriminatory than Warzone, basically, which is almost unbelievable, but it's true. And it makes you feel stupid, basically, for like trying to play the game properly. Because every time you try to play this game the way it's meant to be played, basically you get screwed over. Hey, you wanna explore the game with Freddy? There are these stupid things called staff bots layered everywhere. Like, this game's idea of a good time and fun is very idiotic. This game mostly revolves around Gregory running around with Freddy, trying to avoid these stupid staff bots, right? And other animatronics too, but mostly these dang staff bots, right? When spotted, they do this stupid jump scare animation every time they see you. And it calls one of the animatronics to you. And basically, these animatronics, here's how they get you. They don't run to your location. Like, they don't run to your location from where they are. They just teleport behind you and kill you. I know, it sounds like a stupid gameplay mechanic. They basically teleport like a few feet behind you and you basically have to run immediately or you will get killed. And with one of these animatronics, specifically Chica, it's very bad because she has like this bug where as soon as you see her, she'll just teleport behind you again. And she'll teleport closer and closer to you. Long as Games Guy and I have encountered this bug many times in our playthroughs. And there's nothing you can do to stop her. Like, the only way to do it is to get inside Freddy. And if you're not able to use him in that portion, you're dead. You're straight up dead. She'll just keep teleporting behind you until she eventually kills you. And this AI is so stupid because it's inconsistent. Let me say it's inconsistent because sometimes animatronic will be able to see you. Like, okay, like for example, I'm not crouching right now. You see that blue thing? That shows if an animatronic can see me. When an animatronic can see you, it'll turn yellow and then red, letting you know an animatronic is seeing you. That in itself is already buggy. Because it'll say animatronics can see you when they can't. It'll tell you that an animatronic is seeing you, but they won't attack. they will just stand there. Like the animatronic will just stand there. And the best way to avoid animatronics in this game is jumping on top of tables. I'm being so serious. See, the animatronics do not know how to look up. And they can't kill you at all if you get on the table. Like, it's a very bad mechanic. And if it was up to me, it seems obvious to take jumping out of the equation. Because you don't use jumping very much in this game. It doesn't help you run faster. The jumping mechanic is basically useless. It's just put into a few portions for no reason. So if you don't want your animatronics to get exploited by basically everyone, just take away the jump button. But that probably wouldn't help, because running to a corner, like doing this, running to a corner and crouching will sometimes be enough. And they will just lose you completely. Yes. The Monty boss fight is another example of animatronic never losing you. But I think that's actually a design choice for once. It was actually intentional. And speaking of animatronics never losing me, I was complaining a lot earlier in the stream about Roxy, because, you know, I showed you the strategy by putting Freddy in front of her that I, you know, basically came up with, and thank God it worked. But I never even destroyed her eyes. Like, I never got rid of her eyes. Because there's a part in the story where you have to use a go-kart to ram it into her and take out her eyes for Freddy. Don't ask why. I'll get to that a bit later when I talk about the story in full. But after this is a portion where she's blind now, which admittedly looks kind of scary, but I was too angry at this game to you know, when I was watching the video, I wasn't scared. I was too angry at this game, and I never got to play it. And the story, yes, big quotations around story. And I never beat the Roxy portion because during one of the most important areas and one of the coolest areas of the game, the Music Man portion, I got stuck. I couldn't complete the Music Man portion because it wouldn't let me start it. It would just be caught, the game would be stuck in this ultimate phase of blackout mode where I could not continue the game, but I also could not leave the Music Man section. I had to glitch my way out of it to get to this phase. You see this phaser blast? That's where I had to go. That's how you end the game, basically. And I go there, I end the game. I basically cheated my way to get to the end of the game, by the way. I had to cheat by jumping on top of walls to get to the secret room to beat the game. To get one of the several endings. That's not how I wanted to complete this game. Although this game had its problems, I actually wanted to beat it fairly, and, you know, without exploiting it. Because I knew there was many ways to exploit this game. But I didn't want to. I genuinely wanted to finish the game and have a good time. But that couldn't happen. I was basically, that was the only way I could complete the game originally. Until I finally found the Afton ending, the purple guy ending. And I had to fight that boss. Which is even more annoying than the whole Music Man portion ever could be. But I digress. My point is, the gameplay sucks. It sucks. It's terrible. Like, the gameplay is garbage. But let's move on to another category then. You naysayers out there may be saying, well, the game's not that bad. Let's talk about the characters. You're right. Let's talk about the characters. Gregory, he's our protagonist. But we know nothing about him. He's a terrible protagonist. He's so bad, in fact, that many people claim that he's a robot to try and pass off his emotionless reaction to things, you could say. Because Gregory doesn't react to anything. Like, you see this room, this creepy ass video playing. And forever. Like, this is pretty creepy stuff. And Gregory's supposed to be like a young kid, by the way. He's not even a teenager. Like, he's supposed to be like 10 years old or something. just seeing Freddy and knowing animatronics are trying to kill you would be enough for an 8-year-old me to never want to move. Like, I would be constantly crying, right? Like, I would be terrified. But Gregory doesn't react to anything. Gregory is a straight up stigma male born into a child. I'm telling you. Because he faces down these animatronics like they're nothing. There's some times where, like, you know, he may say, huh, or, Freddy, where are you? Right? But that's about it. That's the closest he gets to being afraid. And he's not a character. He's just a stand-in. If Gregory never spoke in this game, it'll be less of a problem. If he had only a few lines of dialogue, but he talks, but none of his dialogue is ever insightful to what kind of person he is, or to why he's here. Now, next character, Freddy. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the best part of this game is how they characterize. So one of the best parts is how they characterize Freddy. We actually get a pretty good sense of how he acts on a day-to-day basis, how he would act on a day-to-day basis, and the game genuinely by the end of it kind of makes you care about him. Exactly, every other hero character has some reaction to that, something. But Freddy is a cool character. He's a Gregory's companion. He's always trying to cheer him up, and you know he's always trying to do the right thing up until he runs out of battery. Then he jump scares you. Just ignore that though. But basically, other than running out of power or in that purple guy fight, he's always on your side. He's the one character he's the one part of the game you can always depend on. Either it's to glitch you through a wall or to get some funny dialogue. Like right now, like so let's say if I flash him with this camera.
Gregory, what are you doing?
Like, come on now, like they did not have to add that in, but it's just a cool mechanic. Like when you stun him with the blaster. Well, I said when you stun him with the blaster. Okay, this game is so broken. You see my point? Guys? Hold up. When you stun him with the blaster, whatever. He's supposed to have a voice line. There you go. I'm about to say. But, you guys see how unfunctional this game is, by the way. But, yeah, basically, he's a funny character, you know, the comedy in the game is pretty funny. Sometimes this game feels like it should rely more on its comedy. Out of all the FNAF games, I feel like this one should be leaning into its comedy the most. But, you know, the jokes that do happen really don't land too much, and there's not enough of them scattered throughout the game. Now, the next character, every other character in this game is shallow and one-dimensional. Other than one other, which is Roxy, which is a stupid character you've been hearing talking in the background this whole time. Are you lost? I bet you don't have any friends. Yeah, I know all the voice lines for these characters. Because they only recorded like 7. They only recorded like 7 voice lines or less. But Roxy, she has pretty cool character traits. You know, we learn she's one of the first animatronics we see, and we get to see how, you know, she's basically a full-blown narcissist, right? Like, she needs to get this checked out at a doctor or something. Like, she has a problem, right? You know. And you get one of the first things you notice is how much personality she has. Yeah, hey, little guy. Don't worry, we're getting to him in a second. She's very self-conceited, you know. And, you know, she's better than everyone else, right? Very basic character. But then, when you get to see her interact, right, with Freddy, which is, again, there is another part where this game fails. You can't have the animatronics interacting. Freddy walks in on her in the middle of the game, and she's sad because she can't find Gregory. But as soon as Freddy walks in, she plays it off and just gets upset and tells him to leave, right? It's a very cool moment, you know, because these animatronics, they actually talk to each other, because Freddy calls them his friends. but we never get to see them interact outside of this one moment. So, you know, it brings a whole new layer to the game, right? So you would assume we would get more interactions with Freddy and other animatronics in the game, like when they're looking for Gregory. But nope, this is the only one. And when you take out her eyes, she just cries. And she's basically just an emotional wreck. But, yeah, that's Roxy's character. Somewhat interesting. And also, I was gonna say this under my breath. Shippers. Get out of here, please. Please don't ship two robotic creatures together. No, just no. But continuing on with this game, we have another character, Montgomery Gator, and he is just angry. That he's angry. He's angry. And the last animatronic character is actually, you know, Monty has some stuff. You know, let me just say he wants to lead the show. That's it. Okay, now I'm done with Monty. He's literally just angry and he wants to lead the show. That's all I can say. Now for Chica, she is hungry and potentially a pedophile. From her voice line, potentially a pedophile. That's it. That's it for the characters. Well, the animatronic characters. Chica's a pedo. Hey, Speed wouldn't care though. But basically, we can talk about the last two characters. Vanny, right? She should have been the best character. Either her or Gregory should have been the best characters in the game, right? Because of how dimensional she should be. She was introduced in the last FNAF game. As like this innocent person who was taken control over by a virus version of the purple guy, William Afton, right? And we get to see in the DLC of that game how she constructs a mask and basically, you know, she wants to continue his work of, you know, killing children, which, you know, not exactly a good thing, you know. But basically, we were going to see that in this game. This is what we were told. We were basically going to see the aftermath of that and how she responds, right? But the problem is, we never get to see her do anything. She shows up 3 times in this game. The first time is during a cutscene, a manual cutscene. The second time, she was played off again. Let me just say, she was built up as being the main villain of this whole game. Like, I mean, she was built up to be like the new main villain of like the next coming games, right? Like the next child killer, the person who's gonna be hacking animatronics. This is who she was built up to be, right? I think in this story was changed. I mentioned before how the story got changed multiple times to fit a certain narrative. I think they wanted to make this game more kid-friendly because all the promotional material, she was heavily featured in it, and it seemed like she was gonna have their entire voice lines cut between her and Gregory. Like their entire conversation cut from the game that were in the trailers. Facts. I'll get to her gameplay in a minute, but basically, how I put this best. She is seen carrying a knife in all the promotion material, and there are entire sections of her in the game that are missing from the final product. Like they're just missing, unfortunately. And it's really saddening to see that, you know, all this content got cut for nothing, basically. Basically to make the game more kid-friendly so they could have more sales or whatever, so it wouldn't be rated so heavily. Because I guess they didn't want to show a lady in a bunny suit killing children, which is already pretty ridiculous. But I mean, hey, more kid friendly. Hey, it's more kid friendly. It's more kid friendly. They can show a deceased man in a rotting machinery, basically, trapped there forever. But they can't show a lady with a knife, though. I get it. Or imply that she killed kids. I get it. Understandable. Have a nice day. In all seriousness, you can also tell this was a terrible decision. Simply establishing her as a threat early in the game, and why because Gregory implies that he already knows, what she does to kids. She murders them, right? But we never know how he knows this, because we learned in the game that he's homeless. So how do you even get the Pizzaplex to begin with? My bad. Let me continue talking about Vanny. She has a split personality thing, where sometimes she's a security guard and other times she's a serial killer, right? We only get to see her, again, 3 times in the game. Once is during a cutscene where she runs by, right? And Freddy doesn't see her for some reason. The second time is when Vanessa captures you, puts you in a room, and then Vanny basically, starts skipping towards you, in the slow motion type thing, running towards you. She waves through the window, and this was genuinely scary. I'm not gonna. She was one of the only things in this game when I first played that had me really afraid. The only character that actually scared me. Yeah, the game is very unclear. Yes, yes, but basically, we see her, skip towards you, and she's one of the only characters that genuinely scared me, right? Because there's this weird effect that in the song that plays when she gets close, this glitching effect, and it threw me off a lot, right? But I actually never got jump scared by her, funny enough, because again I was so scared that you never jump scared me. There's only 2 characters that happened with the endoskeleton and her, because I was genuinely scared. I never wanted to get jump scared. But she appears one other time, and that is in the trash scene after you dismantle Chica. She spawns behind you, but if you run through it, you'll never even notice that she spawns, because she's basically completely missable, and she doesn't show up again until her ending, where again she's completely avoidable. And again, we never have any evidence that she's the one killing kids. The only evidence we have is that she's killing kids. I mean, we know she's a murderer because of promotional material and stuff. And what came beforehand, we know obviously she's a killer. But if you just played this game only and you didn't look at anything else, you would never know that, oh shoot, for sure that she's the killer. Because the only inclination we get about this is a newspaper and one of the endings that shows 9 kids missing, and then she approaches Gregory. That's it. That's the only inclination we get that she's killing all these people. And in this game, we never learn directly why. So again, if you just played this game, you have no idea why she's doing this to begin with. So, oh well, that's Vanessa. And I'm not going to talk about Springtrap, because he's not a character in this game. He's a plot device. He somehow this game makes a mistake of Rise of Skywalker, and does it worse. I don't know how, but they managed it. Good job, Scott or Steelwool. I don't know who made these decisions, but they somehow managed to do it worse than Rise of Skywalker. They bring back a dead villain, but they don't even have him talk. Imagine bringing back Thanos, right? Imagine Marvel bringing back Thanos, right? As a spirit guide or something, right? But he appears at the end of a movie as the main villain, and he doesn't have a single line of dialogue. Somehow Springtime has returned. Exactly. The only excuse we get is that he always comes back. What is that supposed to mean? That's so vague. How is he still alive? Because in the previous game, which should have been the ending of the whole franchise, I might add. He burns alive, right? And a super, super cool ending where his old partner, whose daughter that he killed, basically gets revenge, right? You know, and he has a super cool monologue, you know. He's basically telling him, you know, like, you know, you're gonna suffer, like you're gonna suffer, right? You know, he's giving him the business, but he's staying behind to make sure he dies, right? And it's all revealed at the end of the game too. Like that was that game's big ending, FNAF 6. That was FNAF 6's big twist and big conclusion, which was amazing. And you know, he kills him, and Springtrap burns alive with the rest of the last animatronics. Cause he trapped them all there to finish the job. That's not funny. That's not funny. We're not talking about what if. We're not talking about what if, okay, guys? But we definitely have to just talk about how he's brought back. And they do nothing with him. They don't have any voice lines. Gregory and Freddy have no connection to him. So they don't even know who he is. Which is abysmal stuff. If Van's to be the main villain, why is she not in the Springtrap ending? Like, she obviously was the one who had Freddy clear the stuff to get to him to begin with. So why is she not here defending her master or whatever? I don't know. She's not dead at this point. She's just missing. So there's really no really good ending in the game, because if you choose to save Vanessa, right, by playing these mini games, which is genuinely a pretty cool concept, right? Springtrap is still in the basement, powering up, and he's gonna go off on another killing spree. But if you choose to fight Springtrap, you forget about Vanny, and she can just go off to do whatever, who knows what. Because she's a whole human. And again, apparently no one in this game suspects her. As you can read from the security logs, no one in this game suspects her. So she can just go off and keep killing. Scot-free. So, yeah, no, there's no really good ending in this game. And if Gregory tries to escape, he gets caught. Or, Freddy ends up killing Vanessa, and Freddy dies, or Gregory and Freddy escape, but then leave Vanny and Vanessa and Springtrap there, and they're basically fine. So none of the endings in this game are good. But that's enough talking about the characters. Let's talk about the story overall. The game opens with you inside Freddy. Again, the opening sequences again is pretty cool. Some cool cinematics. It's a shame they never had the animatronics sing. Again, a big waste of voice talent. Just literally gone to waste. But basically, the animatronics, they have been malfunctioning, right? We don't know why. We meet our protagonist, Gregory, and like I said, he's more of a plot device than a protagonist. But for the reasons I'm not gonna say yet, I'm calling them protagonists. Basically, he's inside Freddy. He escapes Freddy, you know, because Freddy says to help him out, because Freddy's following his programming to protect, whatever, right? Or maybe he could be a version of this guy's brother. Theories are wild. Anyway, Freddy helps him. There's a big chase sequence with the animatronics, right? Because Vanessa, the security guard, is using the animatronics to try and find Gregory. But the animatronics get a bit quirky at night, so they basically try to kill him. So there's a big chase sequence. Gregory narrowly escapes. And then we get our first big reveal section that Gregory is locked in. The door's closed right in front of him. And I'm just gonna mention how this whole story could have ended if Gregory just used a phone that is sitting right beside him and call the police. Or he could just ask Freddy to hack into the mainframe and call the police. You know, either way works. Or, you know, I don't know, hide in Freddy's room because no one would suspect Freddy. Just hide in his room. No one's gonna get into his room, and even if they do, you can easily escape it. Anyway, there are many ways to end the story easily. Like this whole story mode would be completely avoidable. But Gregory, basically, this is where the main gameplay begins. The fetch quest. You have to get this hippo magnet to open to get this pass so you can open a door to get Freddy out. You get the pass, but then you realize it doesn't work. So you have to go back, use the magnet on the machine again to glitch it out. And it gives you the wrong pass. It gives you a daycare pass. So you go to the daycare, right, to get a new security badge, right? So you can open more doors. You go there, you meet this, and now we're time to talk about the puzzles. You meet this animatronic Sun and Moon. You saw him earlier. He crawls through the tunnels of the daycare and stuff. And he's actually a cool animatronic himself. Like, issue itself is not with him directly. Freddy, you're so creepy. Basically, he's a daycare attendant and he watches kids, right? So he picks you up, you know, he basically tells you, you know, that, you know, he's basically gonna watch you, you know, and protect you. But Gregory's an ungrateful brat, so he knocks over the things for him to clean up, and then he turns off the lights. What an idiot. Or actually, he doesn't. They just randomly turn off because, you know, God doesn't punish the wicked. God punishes the wicked. My bad. I said doesn't. My bad. So, you know, the lights turn out, and, you know, Sun also becomes a pedo. Apparently, he becomes his weird crackhead cousin, Moon, who apparently really does not like naughty children. Because he's like, naughty children must be punished. He's like, naughty boy, well, he chases you. And so I was like, yo, what are you talking about? Out of all the stuff you could say, why are you saying this stuff? Like, what? And he's so creepy. I'm not even gonna lie. He's definitely a scary character. For several reasons. But, yeah, he's very creepy. And he moves very inhuman. Like, he can float through the air and stuff. Like, I'm not lying. Those are the voice lines he has. I can't even lie. This is exactly what he says. But basically, this puzzle, you have to find generators and turn them on, right? So after you turn on the generators, the power turn back on. The problem is, these generators are impossible to find in pitch black darkness, while a animatronic that can fly and float through the sky and crawl to the play area is chasing you down. And I could see, it took me a minute to find these. This game is scary for all the wrong reasons. Facts. But basically, the puzzle is ridiculous hard. It's not the hardest puzzle in the game, surprisingly. But eventually you find the generators, right? Some people had a lot more trouble with this than others, but basically it was difficult across the board, right? He kicks you out of the daycare, and if you don't save, you will get murdered by animatronics and have to redo that whole portion. For some reason, there are no autosaves in this game. Like, at all. There are 0 autosaves. So, you have to save manually every single time. Another thing I tried to copy from Outlast, by the way, was holding down the save button instead of just pressing it. See, but this isn't Dark Souls. The bosses should not be this hard. So, why are there no autosaves? Like, why are there no autosaves in this whole... It's abysmal. It's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. Bloodborne, Dark Souls game has more autosaves. As long as the game is just Bloodborne, and it's basically the prequel or the game that came before Elden Scrolls. And if you know about that game, then you know. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. They're difficult. Okay, they're difficult. And basically, if you make it inside Freddy, another portion will activate, where Moon can come out of the daycare, and he can kill you inside Freddy for some reason. Don't question it. No other animatronic can, but he can. Okay? And he will spawn on you or in front of you. He's kind of glitched. Moon is kind of glitched. Like, I just call him Moon Man TVA. Because if you mess with the time in any way, he just comes after you and kills you. Right? And I think it's definitely unintentional. Unintentional features. You also notice my flashlight turns on before I hit the button. Look at this. Anyway, that's little things. I'm not gonna get in the game too much. It's like, nah, we're on this game. You make it to the charge station, and you get out. You go to the main floor, and then it's just a bunch of fetch quests. Freddy asks. Basically, the gameplay can be put into the game can be put into a few words. Freddy tells you to go get something to open a door. Gregory goes to get it. He sees an animatronic, has to sneak around them, and the process repeats. That's basically the game in a nutshell. And sometimes the gameplay loop will be shifted. Again, let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay loop is extremely boring, and it's very difficult with all these staff bots that have the grab range of the dang hold on, what's a good example? They have the grab range of Mr. Incredible. No, Mrs. Incredible. Like, their arms can just extend. Like, they have the reach. It's ridiculous. Like, imagine putting a prosthetic arm on top of your own arm. And that's basically what happens. They will just grab you across the map, literally, and jump scare you. And there's nothing you can do to stop them. Oh, actually, you can use the camera, like this. You can use this.
I cannot see.
Or, you can shoot them. Boom, bow, 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 bow. You can shoot them too. But, they're basically both ineffective. I'm like, because eventually they have to recharge, and then they're gonna just, kill you or grab you, and send the animatronic to kill you. And eventually you have to face down the animatronics. Monty's the only one with a proper boss fight. I guess Roxy has a semi-boss fight. Monty's the only one with a full-blown boss fight, right? Hey, little guy. That's his only voice line he uses in that whole boss fight. That's all he says is, hey, little guy. In the most intimidating voice the actor can muster. But he just keeps repeating it over and over and over again. And there's this spotlight feature too, where if the animatronic sees you, they'll just play the same sound effect, this vroom, every time it sees you. And it's so frustrating because the animatronics see you so much. And, there's basically nothing you can do to stop them. But continuing on, after you kill the animatronics, you use them to upgrade Freddy, which is why Freddy looks this way. Like, you see, those are Monty's arms or hands, and he has a new voice box. Like, he just screams at people and they run away. That's the best way I can describe it. I'm describing this game the best I can. And basically, I talked about the exploration, but the game would not be that long if everyone knew where to go. Like, doing all these fetch quests, you have to go all across the map. And you guys know what Jedi Fallen Order is, right? This map is almost as useless as that. Jedi Fallen Order's map was ridiculous. Yeah, the upgrades don't help you, don't do anything story-wise. But, basically, this map does nothing for you. Like, at all. Because it's worse than Jedi Fallen Order's map. And we all know how trash that thing is. Jedi Fallen Order's map is abysmal. It's abysmal. You don't know where you are. It's not labeled. It's 3D for some reason, and it's impossible to navigate. but at least it shows you where you are in comparison to the rest of the map. This game just does you no favors. It just shows a section and it's so zoomed out that you can barely see where you're supposed to be. And don't get me started on the cameras. Yeah, it did. It did. And the map looked cool. It wasn't practical, but it looked cool. The cameras are even worse. But there's no cameras in this area. But they don't help you. The cameras don't do anything. I'm just gonna leave it at that. The cameras don't do anything. You're right. It's basically it's geometry on crack. This is geometry on crack. But yeah. There's not much I can say more about the map. I mean, it's useless. It's useless, honestly. There's no point in pulling it out. I don't even know what's the point of MapBot. He has nothing for you. And I've basically reached the end of my main discussion. But I'm here to talk about now. I meant to make a video on this. But after beating this game, I got such a big rush of excitement and relief. Because I'm going to delete this game and never play it again. I'm telling you straight up now. I will go delete this game and probably never touch it again. Ever. If the update fixes things, okay. I will look at a video. I don't think I'm ever going to touch this game again. Unless there's some crazy DLC that I just have to check out and make a video about, I'm probably never touching this game again. And I didn't want to go into this game and get more footage. Like, this game is not fun to play. It's only fun when you exploit it. But to play the game that's originally intended is extremely boring and tedious. And the horror elements, horror quote unquote, aren't scary. They're frustrating. This game is frustrating. Everything to the developers, the story choices, the weird combinations of bad design and not only bad character design sometimes, bad level design. They just use reskins of the same stuff over and over. Sometimes they legit copy hallways and put them in the same spot over and over and over. This game makes you feel really tired. And I can tell this game was made with a lot of care, or at least it meant to be. This is an annoying hard game, yes. Yes. I can tell this game was made by people who really like the lore and who genuinely are like fans of the franchise themselves. But simple passion is not enough to make a good game. This game, it was released in an incomplete state. It was my biggest problem. It was released in an incomplete state. This game was released in an incomplete state, an unfinished game. This game is not finished. There are entire games you can access. Again, the map is so big. It was something I talked about as a positive before. But the map being so big, there's so many portions that are useless to the story. And they don't have anything interesting in them. Exploration in this game, the only rewards you get for exploration is opening these stupid gift boxes. Yeah, there's no good jump scares except for that bot. And like, it's just sad. It's honestly, it's kind of sad how this game just has nothing for you to really enjoy. Honestly, the fan community is the best part of this game. Like, the animations and stuff are really cool. They try to piece the story together, but this game doesn't have a story. It's basically just, I can almost say it feels like a cash grab because this game is unfinished. It's abysmal. If you had anyone play, if you play this yourself, if you were just testing some mechanics in this game to see if they worked, you would know off rip that this game is broken and needs more time in the oven. Shoot, forget the oven, put it back in the bakery. What is it even doing in my house? Like, send it back. I want a recall. High key. This is ridiculous. And just the fact that I'm not the only one who feels this way is another major problem. Now, some people say this game is overhated. Steel will try their best. But I'm gonna say no, they didn't. After Scott left, the story took a big dive into the dumpsters. I'm not gonna talk about the Scott Collins situation, but he left because his address got doxxed. He got canceled, quote unquote, you know, and his address got doxxed. You know, people were threatening his family, so he took a step back from social media and decided to stop working on games, unfortunately. Basically, Steel Wool. Facts. It's like ordering probably an uncooked potato. That's big facts. But basically, we really wanted, when Steel Wool, after Scott left, Steel Wool took control of the story. Almost the story. Vanny was taken out of the game. Guy. Almost all Springtride's voice lines were cut. Voice lines for Monty were also cut. Entire portions of the game were left on the cutting board. Entire portion of the game was finished areas. They didn't even have the balls to finish the Monty Golf section, which is legit a mini game, and most of those holes are complete. They just didn't upload them to the game for some reason. And the story took a big dive, and Steel Wool came back so many times. They kept trying to use excuses, like it's bigger than we ever anticipated, you know. The intricacies of this game are just too much for us, you know. It's so much for our small development team. Well then, just put the game back in the oven a little bit longer. Add some more decorations to it, make it look nice and stuff. But at the end of the day, if it tastes bad, if the cake tastes bad, then no one's gonna like it. It doesn't matter how good it looks on the outside. If it tastes bad, no one's gonna want it. Simple as that. Again, it's like ordering a pizza, but they only give you the dough. Like, they put no cheese, no sauce, no nothing. And again, it's very unfortunate that it happened like this. There was a lot of hype built up around this game, although the marketing, as I mentioned before, was abysmal, garbage, dumpster fire. It was terrible. The hype for this game was building a lot, because people were really, again, everyone was interested about these new characters, you know, and you know, FNAF was starting fresh, and again, the appeal for younger audiences, you know, really made it, you know, really helped this game blow up. So people were so excited to see what was coming, and got absolutely nothing. This is basically a kick in the face, not just to fans of the franchise. I kind of talk about the lore a little bit. We're not gonna talk about the game on this first delay, but it's not only a slap in the face to fans of the franchise. It's a slap in the face to hard game players, or just people in general. Because this game just doesn't measure up in any aspect. If the best way I can say to play this game is to not play it. Honestly. It's frustrating. It's loud. It's broken, unfinished. Like, when you jump into Freddy and try to like do stuff, there's a chance you could fall to the floor at any moment in the game. Because some portions you could just go through walls for some reason, because they didn't put a barrier system there. And you could just walk through walls and stuff, and walk through speakers. this game needs help. This game needs help bad. And I keep hearing people say this thing about the game. DLC, oh, they're gonna fix the game with these DLC patches. The game was released almost 3 months ago. And we got a single patch that just broke the game even more. So, I don't have hope for this game. I'm gonna leave it at this. I usually try to keep an open mind when it comes to games and updates. Because, me personally, one of my favorite games that I put a lot on this channel, Battlefront 2, is a big game redemption story. Very well known for its redemption. But the level of just disrespect and not caring about the way the game was released, because I can't. Yes. 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 You're right. Any game studio that will release a game in the state, I have no mean disrespect to the people that still, to the actual people who made the game. I'm mostly talking about the management, the higher management at Steelwool, who forced them to put this out. Anyone who allows the game to be put out in the state does not care or respect the people who designed it. I feel bad for the developers because they were forced to release the game in the state, and there was really nothing they could do. What? And that's really all I can say about this game. It looks nice, I guess. That's really the best thing I can say. Also, let me show you this Freddy glitch real quick that you can do. Okay, so I'm gonna fall to the floor. Okay, guys, watch this. Oh dang, it didn't work. I'm not gonna risk it. Freddy's low power. I'll show you guys in a second. And I think there's even a way to get past here, actually. Pac-Man has more tension. You are very much correct. Wait, hold up. It's like... See, look. I'm not supposed to be over here, guys. Like, at all. Level 12 security badge, which is unattainable in this game, by the way. The highest they go is level 7. So there's really no way to get into this room. At all. So this ends up being wasted content. And again, I'm not supposed to be able to get over here. So I just exploited the game that easily, by the way. Again, it's laughable. I'm going to show you some of the bad AI qualities and then I'm going to end the video. Because there's nothing else that can be said about this game that I haven't already said at this point. It's like the level 10 rooms don't give you anything either. Thank you, Freddy, for opening the door. Or you're not gonna let me in. Okay. So, there's an invisible wall here, guys. So, I'm gonna show you what I mean when I say using Freddy to get past stuff. Or maybe not. Okay. So the game just told me it's not gonna work. That's nice. No, that's very nice. As you can tell, I'm pretty defeated with this game, you know. I usually try to keep a positive mindset on most things. But I'm gonna show you with like when Freddy kills you. So you can see how bad the jump scares are. Also, Freddy gives no warning, so when this first happened, I actually did get surprised. Yes. See, look. Oh, look. You got me. Man, you can tell by my fearful reaction that I am very much afraid of what just happened to me, and I don't want it to happen again. See, this is the other side of the door. Like, that's the room I was just in, and this is like, you know, the other side of the door. And as you can tell by this great game design, you know, I basically am in love with this game. But let me just try and show you the staff box for a second. Now these guys are annoying. As you see, there's nothing to aim with, so you have to just pray you can hit them. See, look how far away I was. Man, that was terrifying, guys. Okay,
You are nothing!
imagine your heart being this scary. I'm terrified right now. And look, she lost me. She legitimately lost me. You see what I'm talking about here? She legitimately lost me right now.
You can't hide forever.
I'm playing with the straightest face.
Sneak away.
Look at this. Look at this AI, guys.
Give up. You can't win. You're the best. You will.
She lost me. See?
You can't hide forever. Nobody will miss
See me? Look. Look at this abysmal AI. Oh, look at that. Wow. Wow. I am terrified right now. I've never been so scared of a video game character in my life.
You can't. Sneak away.
See, look at that. Just one turn and she lost me. Imagine
You
if
can't hide forever.
in a game was supposed to be a horror related,
Hey,
the character can lose you just from turning a corner. I'm done with this game.
I heard.
I'm just, where was she going? Where was she going? This is what I'm talking about.
I bet I'm your favorite. You're the best. You
How did she lose
will
me?
find him first. Give up. You can't win.
As you can see, the animatronic despawned because this game has great design.
You think you're better
Oh,
than me?
good job. You got me. Alright. As you can see, this game has amazing design, excellent AI, and very scary. Very scary. This game is terrifying to me. It's terrifying that a game studio released a game in this state. And now you get to see how scared Gregory is of all this. Mind you, he's a child, so you can clearly see how terrified he is. Just listen. See, Gregory, he's like moping around or something. I don't know, he's supposed to be crying, but it doesn't sound like it. Unfortunately. Oh, just look at this. See, these are these rewards I was talking about. Chica Pinata. This is what I'm talking about. Like, no one, literally no one wants this. Anyone who does is lying to themselves. They are lying to themselves to the face. Because no one in their right mind will want this. This stuff is not cool. These rewards for exploring the world are not worth it. Like, at all. Facts. You are not wrong. That game, where in a game like DLC, where the protagonist is supposed to be like a carbon copy, like a fake almost, he feels like a more real character with Gregory. So, I'm gonna show you some of the frame rate issues, and that should do it. Okay, as you will notice, my frame rate will start to go down the further I go into this game. As you can see, you may notice something's a bit wrong with my game right now. It may be moving at a bit of a slower pace than usual. Don't worry, this is the standard for this game.
You can't.
Oh dang it, I actually ran out of sprint, she might kill me.
You can't hide forever.
See, she lost me. Okay, you may notice the visuals start to lag out a little bit right here, for some reason, like a lot. This is just average for the game, guys. This is how the game operates. It always runs at this frame per second when you're in a big area like this. But let's talk about the visuals. This looks genuinely good. Like, this looks objectively cool. Look at this. Like, the graphics look amazing, but then you turn around and the game just starts bugging you out. This is what I mean when I say it takes you out of the experience. So even when you try to get invested in the tension and the lore of this game, you get taken out by a stupid bug or something stupid.
Fight forever. Are you lost?
Whoa! How do you get so close to me? Anyway, as I was saying, every time you try to do something cool in this game, you usually get taken out by something stupid that happens like that. And it's not fun, like in the slightest. Like, I do not have a good time while playing this game, which is a problem. Now, I'm gonna just take you to the buggiest part of this game, as far as lagging goes, you could say. And music is amazing. The whoever did the score did nothing wrong. And oh, I forgot to talk about that. Okay, this is one maze in this game called Mazercise, right? And it's basically impossible to do without help. It's far worse than the Moon Man one, because there's literally no way to figure this one out. I'm being dead serious. Like, the steps is worse than the Zepho caves. We know how Horizon Zero Dawn is. It's worse than the underground of that game. It's the worst I've ever seen. Like, it is abysmal. Look at this. What are you doing? Oh my gosh, will this game work? So, watch the frame rate drop. So this would be a Roxy portion where she would be running around trying to kill you. But that would not happen here because reasons. Basically, I don't actually have a legit reason, just reasons. And as I said, the camera feature in this game is pretty trash because it doesn't help you see anything.
Give up. You can't win.
Is she seriously here too? Whatever. I'm nowhere near you. How are you hearing me? You see what I'm talking about? Like, look at this part of the game. This part of the game looks amazing. Like, it looks cool. Like, on paper, the game looks amazing. What happened? I think this would be a cutscene that happened here because I never went here originally, or something. But yeah, this is basically the game, like a buggy mess. And it, like, there's nothing more I can say about this game. It's just a buggy mess. Oh look, a Freddy treat. I would throw this in the trash if I could. Like no, I literally don't care. Like, how are your collectibles in this game gonna be this boring, where you don't even want to explore, like, at all? Like, imagine legit making your game boring. Like, how you gonna have such a big map but have no incentive to explore it? Like, what's the point of exploring a map this big if there's nothing interesting in the map? It just seems stupid if you ask me. If you're gonna have a map this big but have nothing here to explore, it just seems like a waste of time. Again, this game looks cool. Like, on paper, this game should be great, amazing, knock out of the park for FNAF. But it isn't. I'm sorry. It just isn't. It fails at every way to be not only a hard game that's scary, but just to be a game that I find entertaining or fun. Like, if anything, at the very least, your game should be a fun escape. You know, I basically played this. The only reason I kept playing this game mainly for content, and that's. Is she nearby or not?
Sneak away.
How did she get here? Is she supposed to just wander back here? Whatever. Basically, this could be an old animatronic, for example. If this game was well designed. What?
You are nothing.
I'm dead. Wow. Wow. I'm dead because the game would not let me escape. See what I'm talking about? Another thing FNAF is known for is its menu screens, and this menu screen is garbage. It just sits on something. In the old games, the menu screens will have glitching animatronics that, again, immerse you in the... not only lets you see the characters for the first time, but truly lets you, like, you know, immerse in the lore, like, in the fear already before the game even starts. It shows you how these animatronics could be a threat to you before you even play the game. Here the camera just slowly pans across an area of the game. Basically just, hey look, we designed this. Look at it. But that's my review of this game. If you can tell, it's a A+ title. I would totally recommend this to a blind and deaf person. That's what I recommend this to. 10 out of 10 for them. But if you are unfortunate enough like me to be able to see and hear things, then I'm sorry, my friend. You will not have a fun time with this game. That's my review. I will be deleting this game and uploading a Battlefront video. Yes, a classic. Basically, I returned to see what the game is like. Is it still a dumpster fire? We'll find out. Thanks for watching.